let's look at first cornerback to be drafted here. He is very shiny. He is very saucy, but rightfully so. Sauce Gardner, we just saw Derek Stingley Jr. had his pro day. Definitely helped himself out there. John, we'll start with you. Your pick for first cornerback to be drafted.
Yeah, Ryan brought it up. I'm going to go ahead and pile on with Sauce Gardner at Cincinnati. We talked about him being a 4-year starter at Cincinnati. A couple of unique things, in my opinion. As a corner at 6'3", 190, he's one of those unique guys. He's almost built like a safety, but he runs like a corner. There's really nobody in an opposing offense that he can't man up with in a one-on-one situation, and you would feel bad about putting him in that situation as a defensive coordinator. One thing that I'll tell you is anytime you play Alabama, and in that semifinal game in 2021, he was targeted 4 times, and Alabama picked up a whopping 14 yards. So I thought about that, and I'm like, well, maybe that's an anomaly. I went back and looked at his whole season, Ryan. This guy was targeted over 14 games. He gave up 131 yards. That sold it for me. 4-year starter, 6'3", 190, versatile skill set, showed up against Alabama, played big, went back and looked at the entire season. This guy never shrank, battled through injuries, all the nicks that you go through in a typical season. I think this is an easy pick to pick Gardner in this situation.
Yeah, it feels like an open and shut case. Gave up 0 touchdowns throughout his career as well. The only thing, John, the minus 400 scared me off a little bit, so I went with Derek Stingley Jr. And listen, you've been talking about it for the course of this segment. He just had a fantastic pro day, and that recency bias, I wonder how much that will weigh on NFL teams as they stack these draft boards. There's nothing. Gardner is almost as close to complete as you can get, and you painted that picture for us. But Derek Stingley, if you're a general manager and you just watched the 2019 tape, you're like, I'm taking this guy first overall. The issues, of course, is COVID season, and then he only played 3 games in 2021 before he suffered the foot injury and didn't play extremely well. So that has to be sticking in your mind as well. But you see him running the 4.3s, I think he ran 4.3s, high 4.4s, and that gets your attention. And he is smooth. And he was one of the best players on that defense in 2019. And every single day he's going up against Justin Jefferson and Jamar Chase and Clyde Edwards-Helaire and Joe Burrow. And that makes you a better football player. So at plus 280, I'm going to stick with Derek Stingley here just because I like the value. But I'm with you. Sauce Gardner is my cornerback 1 if I'm drafting for a real football team.
Okay, that makes sense because you did go with Sauce Gardner to be the 3rd overall pick because you like the value there. But then Derek Stingley Jr. to be the first cornerback. Look, leading up to the draft, we're going to have to do a bunch of these. We're going to be talking about the draft so much over the next couple of weeks, so we're going to entertain ourselves. Ryan, Wilson, Jon Berger, thank you guys so much. Recapping their picks here. Jon Berger going I was going to say a little chalk, very chalky. It's very chalky for Jon Berger. Going with the safe bets there. Ryan Wilson, by the way, his latest mock draft, you can find that on CBSSports.com. You can also find Pete Prisco's last 2 mock drafts there as well. Do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis. No yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.